Now that big story we've been following all day, a decision in the case that aims to keep former President Donald Trump off the Colorado ballot could come down at any time.
Yeah, it is officially in the hands of the United States Supreme Court after they heard oral arguments this morning. Fox 31's Ashley Michaels was inside of that courtroom for that hearing. She joins us live from Washington, D.C. with the very latest. Ashley.
Well, Erica and Jeremy, people from across the country have come to Washington, D.C. to hear more about this case. Now, that includes 91-year-old Norma Anderson, who has been the face of this Colorado case that has now made it all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And she is on the side that she wants to see former President Donald Trump off the ballot. So let's get to what happened in court earlier today. Now, her attorney, he focused his arguments on a broad interpretation of what we've been calling the insurrection clause, meaning they think it does apply to a president, even though the wording in the Constitution doesn't make it crystal clear. He argued that if somebody isn't eligible to hold office under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, then they also should not be allowed to be on a ballot in the first place. Now, as far as the justices, they did weigh in during all sides of the argument today, asking some really good questions. Now, when Norma Anderson's attorney was up there, Justice Thomas in particular wanted historical examples of times when that would have been used even more than 100 years ago. He wanted those examples even if it was during the Civil War era. But there just weren't many that were available. Now, the justices also questioning whether Colorado had the right to make a decision that would inevitably influence, affect, or impact other states, since some other states would also likely try to get Trump off the ballot only because of this case. Now, we spoke with the chairman of Colorado's Republican Party, Dave Williams, who was also part of this Supreme case. This is very complex, but he tells us he feels confident Colorado's case will get overturned.
We wanted to ensure that we could nominate whoever we wanted to nominate. The party is its own private political entity, and if we wanted to put Donald Trump on the ballot or Ron DeSantis or whoever else, that should be our right, and no state actor, no judge, no one should be able to tell us otherwise.
Well, in Colorado, Secretary of State Jena Griswold's office also got about 15 minutes of the court's time today. The justices mostly wanted to know some nuances and ins and outs of Colorado's election laws and how they may or may not apply to this case. Now, the next step in all of this, the biggest question here, is a decision. Right now, we have no idea when a case, the decision in this case could come down. We're told it could be as early as tomorrow, but a lot of experts out here say that's not likely. They do expect an answer here within the next few days. Of course, when that does come down, we'll be on top of it for you. Live in Washington, D.C., Ashley Michaels, Fox 31.
All right, Ashley, thank you. And you can catch her full conversation with Colorado GOP Chair Dave Williams and Secretary of State Jena Griswold this week on Colorado Point of View. That will be Sunday morning at 7:30 over on our News Partners Channel 2. You can watch the full episode anytime at KDVR.com/COPOV.